do the one thing that I can do, that I don't have to rely on technology for, and that is just doing a little drawing for you all. Well, hey there, Knotty friends. Welcome back to the vlog. As always, it's so nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Chris, aka Knotty Bear, an amigurumi designer, crocheter, and crafty person here on YouTube. And I put out new videos every single week. So if any of that sounds good to you, be sure to stick around. But this week, we have a very fun and exciting week planned ahead of us. We're going to continue with our holiday-themed crochet patterns, including Fiji, who is actually going to be released this Friday. So for those of you who have been waiting, it's finally here. I'm very excited about it, but I will talk more about that in the video, obviously. But he is going to be released this Friday, so very exciting news. We also have a couple free patterns I want to get done for the week, including some of our video game characters that I'm lacking behind on, but I am going to get them up there, I promise. Speaking of the video game crochet challenge, if you will, we only have 4 left, and I do want to pick it up this week, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to change it just slightly for the holiday season because it's so busy, but we will be making another cute video game crochet this week and possibly next week, so we'll see where we get with that. But that is a lot of stuff for the week, so I'm excited to get into it. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, so it is Monday. It's a little bit later. It's around 12:30. I was just having some fruit for lunch, and I actually got an early start to today and did a bunch of things, so I'm feeling pretty good. I did finish the Fiji pattern edits and sent them back to the tech editor, so at this point there won't be much to do, just a couple little things. He'll be ready to go for Friday. I have taken extra special care to make sure that this is pretty tight. I'm going to go over it again like I said, but I'm not really doing a public pattern test for this. Gonna see how I feel about it. This is the first time I haven't done one, but my last couple ones just didn't feel, like I said previously, it didn't really feel like I was getting the payoff either way. Just because I feel like having a tech editor and really looking over my patterns, there's very few issues, if any. So I don't know. It is good marketing, obviously, to have your pattern tested by people, but there's also other things that come with it. I've talked about this before. It's not important. I'm just going to see how this goes. And of course, I'm having someone else look at it, people who crochet, but it's a little bit of a different way of doing this. So hopefully there won't be any problems. I don't think there will be. There haven't been before. I'm pretty thorough with my pattern editing and everything. So, but anyways, with that said, I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm very excited about it. As for today, I have to make my Instagram reel. I'm probably going to do a little bit of a teaser for him since it's coming out Friday. And I have to get on that because it's already, like I said, after lunch. I like to post my reels around 3:30 now. It gives me a little bit more time to focus on other things. Before, I was actually posting them around 12:30. And I was actually finding they weren't doing as well sometimes. But anyways, you're not here to hear all about the annoying things about Instagram and algorithms and patterns. You're here for fun crochet stuff. And speaking of that, we have to pick a prompt for this week. Like I said, there's only 4 left. If you're new here, I have been crocheting almost every week, not quite. My top 10 favorite video games of all time. I pick one at random every week and I crochet something from that series. I just pick it whatever I want. Sometimes I do a little bit of research and throw stuff in there. So we're going to do that this week. However, like I said, I'm going to change it up just a little bit. Last week, obviously, or the last 2 weeks rather, we did owlbear. And with the holidays, work is busy, but also life is busy because you're visiting. You have less time to crochet maybe because you're out doing things. So I think what we're going to do, and a lot of you didn't seem to mind that it took 2 weeks to get the owlbear done. I think I'm going to take the pressure off and just say, this is the next one I'm going to make, but it might not be done for Friday. It might be done next week. Who knows? So we'll see where we get to. It depends a lot on what game I pick because some of the ones left in there are going to be a little bit more complicated. But if you've been watching, you know I like to pick the more complicated designs anyways. So I'm really just shooting myself in the foot. I really should pick something a little bit simpler since I get to choose at the end of the day anyways. But with that said, let's grab our little candle cup thing here with the last 4 prompts and just pick one at random here. And see what we get. I think it's Zelda, Elden Ring, or Dark Souls rather, the whole series. Elder Scrolls, and I can't remember what the 4th is. Oh, Pokemon, I think. So, anyways, we got Elder Scrolls. So I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't get this one because I feel like most things in the Elder Scrolls world are a little bit more complicated, but it wouldn't be a Knotty Bear crochet challenge if it wasn't a little bit complicated. So, for those of you who don't know what Elder Scrolls is, It is another one of these video games that has been around for a very long time. Another one that I watched my brother play a lot, but I was a little bit older, so I actually got into this one as well pretty early on. The first one I got into was called Morrowind. A lot of you probably played it. I think I played it on the Xbox at the time. And it's a fantastic game, big open world RPG. You probably see a theme with my favorite video games, very fantasy, role-playing game, RPG, if you don't know what that means. And kind of just like explorative, fun, magical. I love all those things. So it is very much in this vein of, magical RPG fantasy stuff. And you get to obviously decorate and explore and fight, and you can be whoever you want to be. It's very popular. The big one that most of you will know is called, so we have Morrowind, Oblivion, and then Skyrim was like the big one. It came out a long time ago, but it's had so many iterations over the years. I want to say it came out like 10 years ago, which is kind of wild. They only come out every usually 8 years, but the next one is overdue. But there's been some controversy as to what platform it's going to come out on. But anyways, we're not talking about that. So I can pick a character from any of these different, not franchises, different versions of the game. And I don't really have any clue what I'm going to do. I can think of a lot of different enemies, none of them that would look really cool in Crochet off the top of my head. I know there are going to be some. So with that said, let's do a little bit of research and see what kind of characters there are in the world of Elder Scrolls and what would look good as a crochet amigurumi. So we're going to go to Pinterest real quick here. Like I've said in the past, I used to show the Pinterest. I used to do like a screen share. However, it seems a little iffy if I can do that because it shows some copywritten things. Annoying, but I can share video with you of most of this stuff because, like I said, I have the game, and if I have time, I know I didn't do it with Baldur's Gate, I do apologize. It's just a little bit annoying to get the screen capture. Sometimes I don't have time, but I will try and put in some video footage so you don't have to look at my mug the whole time while I'm talking. So we're just gonna look up Actually, I'm just gonna start off right and just do Skyrim creatures because most people are gonna know it as Skyrim. So we have a lot of dragons. We have Spriggans, which are, again, a very complicated thing. Dragons are complicated. We have owls. Ooh, a lot of this stuff is very complicated. I don't even know. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one. Alright. I'm just doing a quick scroll through all the different enemy types in this game and realizing how complicated this might be. There's a lot of very intricate designs in this game, more so than I think any of the other ones we've played. And just looking through real quick, I'm thinking no. There's a lot of Spriggans, dragons. I can't remember, is it Flame Atronach or something like that? Is the fiery one, which could be very cool, but to do it right would take a lot of time, which we do not have. So I'm thinking of what I want to do here. I'm going to keep looking through just to see if I can find something that's just a little bit more easy or not as complicated. Please, something not as complicated would be great. I feel like I'm between doing a skeever, which is literally just a little rat, which is too simple, or doing something like a Spriggan or a Flame Atronach, which is too complicated the other way. I'm not finding a lot of in between, which is not exciting for me, and there are really cool ones. Things are looking bleak for old Christopher over here. We are not having a good time. Like I said, it's like a wolf, a bear, a rat, or some kind of ancient evil like with armor and twisted roots and leaves and all this crazy stuff, like 10 arms. We are not finding a good kind of medium middle ground here. All right, so I'm back. I've been doing a bunch of searching, and I actually ended up on an ESO, Elder Scrolls Online, which is the one I said that I've never played, but they have a section for pets, and there's a lot of really cute ones there. However, I don't want to do something from ESO because, like I said, I've never played it, so I'm going to keep it true to form. However, what this did help with is it kind of broke down the different little pets and stuff that they have based the designs off of other creatures, and it reminded me of something called a Gar, which was from Morrowind, I believe. I don't think it made an appearance anywhere else. And it's like a weird dinosaur mount that you can ride. It usually has like a sleeping bag and like some harnesses and stuff on it. It's kind of like a horse, but in lizard form. very strange. I feel like I'm going back onto saying when we did the chocobo and I was describing it as a chicken horse and trying to describe it better. But hopefully I can get some kind of footage up here. Morrowind is a very old game. I don't have that console anymore. I think it was like, it's probably close to 20 years, if not older. So I don't think I have that console. But hopefully I can find something to show you here. But yeah, you'll get the point of it. It's just like a weird lizard that you can ride. So it's pretty cute. And it's pretty cute. I can see some people have made plushies out of them. And I think it's going to be a fun one. I've actually never done a dinosaur design before, so this will be interesting. I'm excited to try it out. So we have our final design. We are going to be making a gar. We'll see if we get it done this week, but like I said, I'm not putting pressure on myself. It might be next week, but we will have a gar at some point. So very exciting. Can't wait to jump into that. But for now, I'm going to continue with working on some of my other patterns I have to get done, and I have to make a reel. So I'm going to do that now, post it, and I will check in back with you all later. I was just sitting here filming my Instagram reel for the day, and I had not one, but 2 orders come through Etsy at the same time, both for patterns. Actually, one of them, Rachel, you bought 4 patterns, including the Halloween bundle, so thank you so much for that. Definitely let me know when you've made them, share them online. I love to see what you guys are making. And Mike, thank you for buying Otis. I always find it interesting, like I said, when not one order comes in, but 2 at the same time. Do you watch my videos? What did it come up through Etsy? I'm always just curious to know, because I probably won't see anything for the next couple of days, and then the same thing will happen. It's just so interesting. Anyways, and it's a Monday, which is usually not my busiest day, but I'm not complaining anyways. Thank you both so much, and I'm gonna go back to work now. So it's a little bit later. I'm just gonna go make dinner, but first I wanted to grab the yarn for the gar. Technically it is like a sandy brown color. However, I think I want to do like a plush yarn, I'm thinking maybe. I don't really have a good sandy brown, but I do have a lot of this like sagey kind of minty green, I guess. So I have 4 of these and one over there. I don't know why I bought some money, what I thought I was gonna use them for. Probably some kind of Pokemon, but I think he'd be cute in this color, and then we can do like a brown harness, and that'll be it. So he might be a little bit bigger because we're using a plush yarn, but it'll make it quicker in some ways too. Who knows? We'll see where we get to, and that's where we're at for now. Hopefully you can see me okay there. Hello, good morning everyone. We're sitting here next to the fireplace, which is a new addition. We bought it for Black Friday. We got it like 50% off. It was like 150 Canadian, which is like I think 100 or so US. So really good deal, and it's such a nice addition to the room. It adds like a lovely ambiance, so couldn't be happy with it. Thought we'd sit down here and have our morning chat. It is Tuesday morning, and I haven't really done too much. It's like 8 in the morning. Not that that really matters. Looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day out, so that's nice. It is starting to snow and stuff, but I would rather it snow and be sunny than, you know, a little bit warmer but gray. I hate that. So anyways, I have our little Chanel yarn that we picked for our gar, so I'm hoping to start that today. He is basically a tadpole with like T-Rex arms and legs. Kind of a simpler design, which is nice. I'm not mad at it. Looking forward to it. Hopefully I was able to add some footage. Not 100% sure because it is an older game and they don't have them in the new game. So anyways, doesn't matter. I'm sure I'll figure something out hopefully. Aside from that, today I don't want to set too much expectations. I did work last night on the owlbear pattern. Thank you for being patient. It is finished and I will be posting it to the Patreon today, so if anyone's interested, any of my patrons, or if you want to join, it will be there. As always, it is a very bare bones pattern. It's not for beginners. There's no photos or anything like that, but I try and be pretty detailed with the steps, and I'll always be around if you need help with it. But it will be posted today finally, and then hopefully I can finish the sniffer pattern. I know I've been talking about that for a while. And then that will be all 4 so far. I'm not going to do the Glomer one that we did for Don't Starve. I did take the best pattern notes for that, and it was kind of complicated, so I don't think I need to worry about that one. But going forward with the gar, I will definitely add that as well, and any other future ones we do. Speaking of, I'm going to ask my patrons. I'm going to do a couple polls there probably. I'm going to start doing more there. I've been doing some on YouTube as well, because obviously there are more people following me on YouTube than Patreon. But I want to also start doing polls there too, and that community has been growing, so we're going to move some of the polls over there. I want to figure out what the next topic is going to be for the crochet challenges going forward, and I also need a topic to talk about for our next crochet and chat, which I won't be hosting one of these this week. Probably next week I'll post my next one, so keep an eye out for some polls on here on YouTube or on Patreon if you're a member for that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it today. I think I'm gonna just hang out, pour myself another cup of coffee, and see where we get to. Sipe and I just got in from our walk. Unfortunately, no matter what weather it is, he always wants to go out. He doesn't care. Unfortunately for me, that is. And I just wanted to show, I think I put a photo in, but I wanted to show you our little Christmas tree here. Or not so little, I guess. It's pretty big. It's pretty much an heirloom at this point. It was Dante's mother's, and it got passed down to us. It's probably like 15, 20 years old, so. But it's beautiful. It's getting a little old. It's seen a few Christmases, but it still looks great, as you can see. And we do like a more traditional red and green, classic, never goes out of style. And it makes me happy. So this is our tree, and yeah, I thought I would just show you. Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday. I am just crocheting a little bit on our gar pattern here, as you can see. Nothing too crazy to report. This morning, I just worked on some admin-y stuff, trying to submit more tax forms through Patreon, which has been a thing. Hopefully it's not as hard as YouTube was, but I'm feeling like it might be. So we'll see where we get with that. But yeah, I did a little poll. Speaking of Patreon, I did that poll about what the next challenge theme should be, and we are tied across the board. It's 2 votes, 2 votes, and 2 votes for 3 separate things. So I have to, there's one person left in the Patreon who has to vote, but I can't see who it is. So I'm waiting for them to maybe break the tie. There is a 4th option that no one voted for, sadly. It was turning my houseplants into like creatures through crochet. But if they vote for that, then we're kind of like, so hopefully maybe someone will join the Patreon before then and vote and break that tie. But I am excited for whatever they pick. It looks like there's going to be a close race, like I said. So we'll see where they go with anyways. So that's been fun. Other fun things that happened overnight. I post every once in a while the threads. I actually like it there because it's very easy to make content there. You just kind of ramble on and people seem to enjoy it. And sometimes nobody sees it. And other times, like last night, a lot of people see it. I was wondering the past week if we get from 700 followers excuse me, from 700 followers to 1,000 by the end of the year. And I started posting a little bit about that, and I made a post and it went, actually 2 of them, and we are now over 1,200, I think, followers on Threads. So that's pretty cool. And if you found me from Threads and you're new here, thanks for coming over. Appreciate you. Thanks for following. So I'm thinking about doing some kind of 1K giveaway there. We'll see what I do. I was expecting to have more time, obviously. I was wondering, or worrying rather, if we could even get to 1,000 in a month, because it seems like a kind of big ask, but clearly we could. So that was pretty fun to wake up to. And yeah, aside from that, I think, what do we have today? I want to work on our gar, obviously. Fiji, the edits came through from Huckabee Megan. I've talked about her before. She is my tech editor. I'll leave her information below if you need a tech editor. She is great. I could not recommend her enough. And she came through with the last minute edits, and I finished them this morning. So that's very exciting. It means the pattern is done and ready to go out into the wild. I haven't announced Fiji yet officially. On Instagram is where I'll probably do the announcement. So today I'm going to do a reel. Still have to film it and probably do like a little teaser. I'm never sure if I should do a teaser or just like announce it one day. People do both. But I'm going to do a teaser for this one. I'm not doing a traditional pattern test. I think I talked about this before too, but I want to try and see. I had it tech edited. I had a friend look at it, and I've gone over it a bunch of times. I feel like that's more than enough usually. It's very rare when I do these pattern tests that I get too much information back. I don't know. I've talked about this before, so I won't go into depth about it. But yes, it's going to just go live Friday at around 3, I believe I'm going to post it. But I will edit that in. Editor Chris, edit in the time of when that goes live. So please, if you like the Fiji pattern, it's only, depends where you live, but it's around $6 to $9, depending on your currency. And it really helps support the channel. And you get a really cute, amazing pattern that I put a lot of time into. So if you're considering it, please go check that out. So that's exciting. I was going to say something else about Instagram. I'm going to make the reels. I'm finding that reels are really the only thing that go anywhere on Instagram these days. I find like posting the photos. Carousels are supposed to be like pushed right now in a good way. but it doesn't feel like it. I kind of post, whenever I post photos, they seem to go nowhere, whereas the reels have a much better chance of being seen by a wider audience. But whatever, I'm just enjoying it. I just wish Instagram would push a little bit more or be a little bit more successful, because I love the idea of it. I love posting there. I've always loved, it's very artistically, visually satisfying, which I like. So I wish it would just wouldn't be such a I don't know, pain in the butt to post there. Like a lot of other places, like here and everything, just feels like you put the effort in and you meet people in the community, like all you wonderful people, and they support you back and they follow and everything and engage. But it's a lot harder to do there than it is on other places, I'm finding. But anyways, that's enough social media talk for now. I'm going to work a little bit more on this, but it's not a priority. I have to start editing the vlog today at some point. I've been slacking on that. And I have to make my reel, like I said. I'm just looking at my list if you're wondering why I'm looking down. And I made a hot chocolate. It is hot chocolate season. I know I don't need hot chocolate, but I'm eating very healthy. And if I want a little hot chocolate every once in a while, I'll have a hot chocolate. It's actually technically a mocha, I guess, because it has coffee in it. And then we're going to work on Santa Otis. I want to get all of his, well, he really just has arms left and then his muzzle. And then I have to look at him. Where is he? And then I think we're going to do his hat, which will not be a fishing hat. It'll be a Santa hat. And then I think that's it. I'm going to try a little Santa beard on him because I think that only makes sense. But I'm interested to see how it's going to look. We'll figure it out. But anyways, today I want to get most of that done, at least his arms for sure, and start the hat. But we shall see. As always, you never know how the day's going to go. This morning I spent a lot of time on admin stuff and just like Patreon things. That was not expected, so, you know, things like that happen when you're running a small business. But yeah, that's it for now. I will check back in with you all later. All right, it is a new day, a different day than it was the day before. I don't even know if that makes sense. Anyways, I've been sitting here editing this video and trying to figure out how I can put in a little bit of footage of what a gar is, and I keep being met with no luck every time. I thought, let's see if I can get it on Skyrim or Oblivion, which I have. They're not in it, apparently. Apparently they went extinct after Morrowind in the lore. Anyways, so it's only Morrowind. I was like, well, I'll download it on my computer. It's PC only, Windows only, so I have a Mac. So that didn't work out. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just download Steam, because I know I bought it on Steam, Elder Scrolls Online, that is, and they have like little pet gar, which would be something. But then I went to go download it, and it was 150 gigabytes. And one, I don't have that much room on my computer right now. Two, that is a lot just for a video clip. So I don't think we're going to do that. So I thought, why not do the one thing that I can do that I don't have to rely on technology for, and that is just doing a little drawing for you all. Nothing crazy, but I think we're just going to draw a gar so you'll have some kind of reference as to what I'm making. Also, just an update to the gar. Definitely won't be done this week. I have been procrastinating or doing other things, I guess is a better way of saying it. But that's okay. Like, we started the video off, or the week off, saying it would probably not be done this week. It'd probably be done next week. So that's what's going to happen. Anyways, let's draw ourselves a gar, I guess. All right, so thankfully they are not overly complicated. Like I said, they are like kind of like a tadpole with legs. I guess tadpoles technically have legs. Dinosaur legs and like T-Rex arms. So they're pretty basic shaped. They kind of have like a head like that. And kind of like this shape. All right, let's go turn the page. Feels weird sometimes to draw on paper. I'm so used to drawing on my iPad these days when I do draw. Okay, and then we have kind of like these giant legs here that come out like this. And they have really big dinosaur feet, which I didn't really take into account when I was thinking of making one of these. I'm not sure what we're going to do when we get to this point, but I have some ideas. And they usually, the one I'm looking at now, I don't know if ours is going to do this, but it does have like a kind of saddle I guess, if you will. Which is very cute, and I do like having this kind of wrist, harness on it. And then they obviously have little, like I said, T-Rex arms. All right, folks, that is a gar. Maybe I'll color him in. Let me see if I can find my... All right, so for better or worse, all I can find are these watercolors, which I've never actually used. And I have this palette. Sorry if that was loud. And I mean, this could go terribly wrong. It's been a while since I've done any kind of painting. I also only have this one color, or paintbrush rather. At this point, I'm mostly just having fun. I guess this is probably not needed, but I thought it was the least I could do since I can't find any actual footage of our little gar friend here. It is what it is. And it's very green. My God. The other part I should have probably thought of was that this probably isn't technically watercolor paint, or paper rather, but here we are. I mean, that's a thing that we've done. I might have to wipe this away after. Oh my goodness. Dear God. All right, let's try that again. Oh, that first one turned out so good, and then the rest are shit. All right. Okay. I think that's as far as we're gonna get with the watercolor. Let me see if I can find an old felt tip pen or some kind of ink that I can kind of hopefully add some detail back in and make this look not as crazy. Anyone else remember all these before digital drawing? How fun and exciting all the Copic markers were. And now, I barely even use them. A couple choices here. I might just try the black brush tip. This is more where I'm comfortable with anyways. The ink has always been one of my favorite mediums to use. The only thing I might try and do now is add some of these details in with the scaling, which I don't know why I'm bothering, considering we're probably not going to add this into the actual amigurumi, but I think it'll help with the visual, save this a little bit, hopefully. All right, before I get too far ahead of myself, now the creative Chris has taken over a little bit. I do want to add just a little bit of highlight to some of these areas. All right, everyone, that is our finished Gar. I hope that illustrates what he looks like or should look like. Close enough anyways. This is a little bit more realistic, I guess, than what we'll be doing in plushie, obviously. Ours is a minty green, like I said, and we'll do some kind of ropes and saddles, but hopefully that helps what he looks like. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to some real work now. Happy Friday, everyone. We made it, finally. Happy upload day if you're watching this on Friday. Thank you so much for being here. I have a ton of stuff to do, so we're going to keep this short and brief, which are the same thing. Like I've been saying all week, Fiji is officially released into the wild. Not the real Fiji, the pattern, the crochet pattern. This one right here. So you can now go make your own adorable apple-obsessed Fiji amigurumi if you crochet. And a lot of people have been asking for me to do a Fiji style pattern for a long time. So this one's for you. I hope he does well. I hope you love him as much as I do. And this is one of my favorite designs that I've done. I think it's just so cute. So if you make anything, be sure to share all your photos and everything with me online. But yeah, today we're just going to focus on, you know, getting all the listings done, adding everything, the photos, posting the reels, all the fun things that come with releasing a pattern. So we're going to focus on that. As you can see, I am working on this Gar body, which did not get done this week. I'm not pressed about it. It's fine. I'm just going to work on it probably a little bit more on the weekend. If I can get back to you next week, I think we'll have the head and the body done. So that'll just leave the legs and a couple of things. So it'll definitely get done next week. Besides that, I have been working on Otis. All the pieces are done. He is looking so adorable, but I don't want to ruin anything. So I'll probably share that sometime next week or the week after. But if you're on my Patreon, you'll probably see a little sneak peek of that. So keep an eye out. But that's all for me this week. Thank you so much for everyone for sticking around and watching these videos and just hanging out with me as I crochet. Really means a lot to me that you do. Let me know in the comments below what you're working on. As always, I'm so interested. Or if you just want to say hello down in the comments, please do that too. I always love to hear from you. Even if I don't get a chance to respond, I definitely read them all, I promise. But yeah, that is me for this week. Thank you all so much. I will catch you in the next one. But until then, stay naughty, friends. Bye. And I put out new videos every single week, so if any of that sounds good to you, be sure to stick around. This week we have lots of cool things. Plane. That was a good one too. Hello everyone, it is a new day, a different day than it was the day before. I don't know if that makes sense.